Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Hyperion-Blue-GT Champion. So, looks like it's time to get ready to go for a custom race on Gran Turismo Sport. So, looks like that I might be able to get ready to use the Abarth 1500 Biposto Bertone B.A.T 1952 model. So, this one has definitely finally comes back from Gran Turismo 6 and now looks like arriving here in GT Sport. So, definitely the Abarth 1500 Biposto Bertone B.A.T has definitely used the regular standard amount of range at 3,500,000 credits, so looks like it also giving the most highly expensive vehicle around for it. And then it also to be deducted to be as 1 million credits to be in the game board. So this might be very good style, but it is definitely a slow cardboard because it also has that standard horsepower at 73 HP. So looks like this is going to be very good to be able to be customized tune up to be make it a good high speed power moment board. So probably this might be good to be putting on the 4-speed transmission to be converted into a 5-speed when using the fully customizable. Well, looks like that might be one of the 1950 classic sports car to be ever made to be driven around for. So looks like this is going to be quite very good to be giving a little racing to be driving up for it. Well, it is definitely like one of the most slowest car, like the Volkswagen Semibus and the Volkswagen Beetle 1200. So I might be able to go in and get ready to race here to start out for maybe probably last 2 laps for it. So probably let's just gonna have to take one simple lap to be going on Circuit de Santi Clerics Course C. So I might be able to be going on evening for the same time condition. So this one is gonna be quite very good to be simple as made. But this time it's gonna be very challenging to use the M100 car to be as the main category for this race. So I'll be able to get ready to get set up for it just fast as quick. So this might be pretty good for a slow retro style car before the, well, it is the early 50s cardboard because it is definitely quite classic and very historic vehicle boards. It may be drive standardly to be slower boards, but everybody always wants to see retro cars here that's definitely made in the 50s sports, because classic always giving a little bit nice style showcase look for it to be giving a quite surprising hint. So looks like this is going to be quite very slow challenging for it, so I might be able to go for recommend balance of performance will be able to use the board, just like the Honda K cars and the Daihatsu vehicles. So this might be very good choice to be putting on board. So maybe I decide to go with the sport soft tires, so that might be very good to be driven up for the Biposto Bertone board. So let's see what happens to it. And this is going to be quite very good to give it a little bit more standard speed for it. Well, definitely that was quite not bad for giving a little fast start for it. But even so, this can also have to take one brutal lap for having a little hard challenge to pass all the cars for it. Well, even so, it is definitely quite getting slower like the Volkswagen Semibus for it. Now, probably this was very cool with the style interior, was giving a early 60s style look for it. But this is kind of giving a little bit better time to drive around for it, and looks like this is going to be quite very easy to drive fast for it, but also to be giving a little exceed speed amount by 4 speed, so it will be able to quite give it a much helpful to do it. Okay, so giving a little squeeze in on the Alpine and the Toyota 2000 GT. Okay, here it goes. That's hard part. Well, definitely much centerly fast like the Honda Beat and the S660. So this is going to be getting a little bit better closer up for it. So it'll be able to do a recommended fast setting to go up higher with increased performance. So looks like we're at to keep this old style retro vehicle to be keeping it in motion. Just keep that smooth going right up ahead. Well, I kind of think this might be the only current goal for each slower car to be converted with the fast performance to make it go stronger than high speed for it. Now, only have to deal with the Toyota 86, and it looks like taking on the next turn will be getting a little bit much standardly extended closer in. Now, only got 5 more to go. Patriot RCC is definitely currently in first place for it. I'll be able to keep an eye out on each specific turn until reaching to the finish line. That might be getting a little bit much better to challenge up for it. Well, I kind of think having classic cars could be quite getting a slow start for racing up against modern vehicles. It will be quite giving a good set of a challenge because this is going to be quite harder to be prepared of. So actually, this one is definitely a tail blue color, but this might be quite looking at that style interior for it, but this is going to be quite good for it. And looks like the red window covers here for it. Well, probably most other cars always have that one for it, but it's definitely different between decades for it. That's better. Now taking one more car, be catching up before I'm about to take the overtake on the Renault Sport Helio RS. And then looks like taking a little slow time to go until taking on that hairpin corner to be quite going on for the next stop. So definitely, that style is very retro style to be quite very good for it because the headlights is definitely also seen in by 3. But this one also has that different kind of a headlight for it. Well, definitely the headlights may be turned on for it, but taillights doesn't show anything on it. Okay, so it looks like here comes. Now let the RCC try to go for it. Come on. Let that old dog can also push harder to catch up. Ah, yes. The RCC just barely make a braking point for it, so in case this is going to be very cautious for it. So that might be very good for slower cars to drive around on Course C on the Senti Fluorix. This is going to be quite very good advantage to be fair used. So this might be very easier by the start to go in and climb, step up and step down over to the downhill. But even so, I should probably have to pace it up fast before several fast cars are about to be going right in. So I had to be aware of for it because the RCC is about to be coming back any second now until I had to do a little bit of serpentine moment. Just trying to keep it smooth and keep it in, and looks like race number 1 is finally done by taking 1 lap. Well, I kind of think the Bertone brand is definitely quite very good collaboration with Abarth and Bertone for it. Well, maybe Bertone models with other different car brands will be able to be giving the collab for it. Just like Zagato always have a little support with other European car brands for. So definitely that was a pretty good start for having a little 6.7 mile trip for it. Now, that's very good for taking a little bit of simple fast run for it. So, I'll be decided to exit out and then heading on over to the next race with a different lap for it. So I really guess that this is going to be giving a little bit start here on the East Coast on Autodrome Lago Maggiore. So I really decided to go and take the evening condition and use the same car again. So probably this time I'll be able to do a 3-lap challenge, will be quite giving much extend for. Well, probably 4 laps will be definitely to do so. But probably slower cars can also recommend for 3 laps by giving a little fast-paced exercise for it. But maybe grab a slower car and then get some balance of performance to be able to be recommended use for it. That will be quite giving a little fine simple request if this is going to be giving a good choice whenever you guys really gonna have to take a slower car for it. Like the Volkswagen Samba bus can also drive fast for it, but it also has a stability balance in case if you really don't want to be tipped out for it. So looks like this is going to be quite very good for it. Now I really guess that this is going to be quite very good to be able to setting up for a fast performance for it. So it also recommends at 124 HP by using the strong performance amount. So maybe this will be able to go with a 5-speed transmission, will be able to be good to use for it. And probably aerodynamics cannot be able to tune up for it because it is a fine, high expensive piece of vehicle, was been quite part of the automotive museum for it. But it is part of a vehicle history for it. So might be very good to see it. Okay, now looks like race number 2 is going in. Now let's push that old puppy up and then let's get going. Well, kind of think that just like the Fiat 500F, it's definitely giving a little standard slow time performance rate for it, but well, probably I kind of think forgot to do a little bit of quick tune-up for giving a little fast performance for it. Now let's do this and race towards in to see the sunlight. I'll be able to keep sliding in until this will be gaining good choices. Well, definitely, I've always doing the most standard slow car, just like the Honda Beat and the S660 back then for it. Well, maybe in that case that you guys remember that crazy jump part we're using the Honda S660 at the Little Spring Sports Deep Mile. Well, that was quite very giving the goosebumps for it. That almost scared me out a bit. But probably this time the Abarth 1500 Bertone vehicle is going to be giving a little bit similarly fast to be able to be made. And this will be quite good possible use to race up against any European cars to be ever made to tow. Well, I kind of think it's still an M100 car, but probably this will be giving a much slower rate of this vehicle to be giving a little bit better for use. Only got a few more to go. Give them a quick slow pass and steady and keep it going. Excellent pass on the Toyota A6. Now on to the BRC. Steady. on the RX-7 FC. And even of course the Patriot RTC always comes in for taking a little hard pushing challenge for it, because this is going to give me a little bit of vantage moment to be fair for it. So I kind of think I should probably have to do a lot of daily workout every day until if I could probably get a high expensive vehicle that might be able to participate for the Gran Turismo League. Well, it only takes 1% chance of getting the high expensive vehicle, because most other Gran Turismo players really want a high expensive Group X car, definitely like the historic race cars from the 24 Hours of Le Mans back in the 1960s, for example. Then here he comes for the final lap, and this is kind of giving a little bit much pressure time to keep it steady and go. Okay, keep it going. Patriot's still in second place, but if they stay on the 5 speed, will be getting much better. Well, kind of think several of the M100 vehicles are still trying to go in and catching up to beat the Patriot RCC. Well, definitely slow cars can also be equipped with fast tuning up, increased performance will be able to be giving a little fast of an increased performance rate for it to give a much better chance of boosting you. Almost there to reach the final turn. Then this will be all good for the Abarth vehicle board. Well, that was a pretty good first place run for it, because everything's all cleared out, and then there will be no problems to ask for. Well, probably this might be giving a little bit of go and keep it steady on straight pole for a bit, because because classic cars can also giving a little bit need of extra horsepower will be able to be giving a strong max speed performance board, but also forgot to putting on the transmission gear in case this will be recommended. Now looks like that's definitely pretty good for keeping up the halfway on the mileage distance sports, so I could probably decide to go for to make it to the next round. So probably that this will be giving a little much chance of use. Well, that was a pretty excellent driving on the Italian Grand Prix, so maybe this will be able to go and choose the next course. So why not taking the next round to be raced at Monza. So definitely this will be very much choice of it, so I'll be able to do the twilight time to be prepared for this next round of the event. So probably, well, there are some few other retro classic cars from Gran Turismo 6, but we always love to see these cool, amazing styles of each vintage vehicle board, but it's definitely historic model board, because we always need to have classic historic models to be able to participate in this event. That might be quite pretty much to be good to be a prop board. So definitely, let's check on each starting grid board. So looks like the first 10 drivers is still definitely putting on red color boards. That might be part of a Italian heritage board. So looks like this is going to be good for the third round of this race. But probably one just simple step for it because I might be able to be putting on a balance of performance by recommended use. Can't do this without taking the fast performance will be increased for it. Well, kind of think that was a minor detail check for it. Almost forgot to put the balance of performance before going to the race begin. That might be giving a little bit hard time to keep the performance up for it. So definitely don't want to end up by using the slow car to be in last place. That will be giving the right example since the last video I just made. So, looks like all red vehicles are still going in by start. Then it's going to be pretty interesting. So definitely this race can also last take for 3 laps. That might be giving a little extended amount of time for it. Oh, there is to stay careful for it. So first, take a look at the interior view. By having nighttime, they also see the red gauges as definitely quite ever shown for. But this might be pretty good for having a little classic retro vehicles to be ever seen for. So probably, well, the blinking lights may be turned on for it. So I kind of think this is where the headlights can also show on the green blinking mark for it. That might be where it's definitely at for it. But even so, small taillights can also see for it, in case you've seen it by using the headlights on for it. Alright, so it looks like trying to go up higher, and this is going to be quite very good. Well, definitely that's not pretty good for this max speed amount for it, but it also has to take last for only 5 years at a given amount of time, because this might be giving a little important fact for it. Now, this might be giving a little bit of chance for it. So let's just kind of stay at the 5 speed, then try to maintain the pace speed up until 100 miles. That might be getting a little bit of extra amount for it to save it until stopping at the first chicane. Okay, looks like this is my first stop to take a few overtake passes. Only 2 more left. Looks like things about to get pretty much slow enough to be fast enough for more. Well, probably headlights maybe turn on for it, but except the front part for it. But I kind of think it also will be turning 3 headlights on for it, but it will be quite very classic for it. But probably it also has to stick it with 2 headlights like a normal car. Okay, that's better. Well, looks like the Helio RS 2016 is currently in 2nd place, and then now comes in 3rd. And then this is going to be a 2015 model, separately currently in 1st place for it. Well, I kind of think that the Helio cars are definitely quite getting a little bit simple and fast for it. Okay, so simple fact when using the 5-speed transmission to go faster up as higher. always gonna have to maintain the pace at the 100-mile range. So this is gonna be giving a little bit of full throttle to be able to be much further in for. In case if you really want to see when you're going to reach the 100-mile speed, just stay and hold on much giving amount of time for it. That might be your only perfect example until you reach the corner for it. Well, probably depends on if you really want to use the top speed gear, will be able to be giving you much helpful as needed in for. Okay, looks like final lap is going to be in. So looks like this is going to be giving a much amount of distance to stay on hold. Well, better to be aware of any other cars that are about to be coming in for. Okay, now the Celio RS 2015 is definitely coming back in first place. Now the Abarth 1500 Bertone is going to be coming back in for it. Alright, so stay on over to the second part and then do a little jump on the Apex Sport. Now, this will be giving a much better chance for driving in the classic Italian car for it. Well, even so, everybody can also choose the most, or probably the least slowest car in the game for it, but it also gives a little recommended helpful if you really want to make your car be increased to go faster for it. Just use the balance of performance, so this will might be go easier to make this chance to win. Okay, so there you go. Just go for it and take on the Apex whenever you're gonna need it for. Now, only gonna have to wait until you'll be able to hold out at the last turn to be stopping at the 100-mile range. So this will be able to do a throttle maintain to be keep up at the 50% speed range for it. Take on one short stretch and then that's a pretty good first place for the classic car. So definitely that was a pretty good fast run for having a little classic car for it. So even so, looks like this is going to be quite getting a little bit more simple fast rush to be approaching in for. So somehow, slower cars can also need a little fast performance, and then this will go in and beat all the standard vehicles will be able to be as a total for. So this is going to be quite very easier to be taking on yet approach for it. So probably, let's just going to have to go and take on one last final round of the race, so the daily workout is going to be very complete soon. So let's go over to Willow Springs International Raceway Horse Thief Mile in reverse. So I kind of think putting on the morning condition will be giving the perfect time to get prepared for the next day for it. But now this is going to step it up more, and then this is going to get pretty much easier to be yet challenging for racing on a short track. But now, this one is going to be very tricky to be putting on, like having a little course on the edge for. So it looks like same performance will be recommended by U Sports. So it starts out at 124 HP. So probably, yeah, definitely I might need to have the Biposto to be upgraded for it. It also costs mileage points. So let's see what happens if I could probably have to beat all of them in reverse. So looks like definitely it also starts out here on the standard starting grid, but not the pit stop. But the pit stop can also be racing forward, and on track can also be in reverse. So probably that might be getting a good technique for driving on reverse course on the Willow Spring Short Steep Mile. That might be the best technique corner since Need for Speed Shift, because this one's getting a little bit short challenging but trickier. Okay, so looks like here comes the favorite part that I'm about to be looking for. Taking a little bit long straight, but without the no chicane part, will be giving a little bit much better and easier. So take on the next lap and then better be aboard by getting a little bit off track for it. So taking a little bit steep path on the 2016 Stelvio RS. Now time to go and deal with the BRC, and the 86 GT will be getting much closer in for it, because the 3-lap short challenge is definitely quite coming in for. Okay, that's good. Now only 3 more to go, and looks like almost going to be making that third and final lap. This is going to giving a little bit of extreme exercise performance for it. Just going to have to take a little Group 4 challenge to be able to be fine used. That's better. Now taking one closer pass onto the RX-7, and then time to deal with the Peugeot RCC until a few of the hairpin corners will be running out soon. Stay focused. Burn the safer lane until you reach over to the downhill. That's brilliant. That is very brilliant. Pass on until you'll be taking on the downhill for the final turn. Man, looks like this is going to be very easier to be taking on the Horse Steep Mile, because that might be quite very advanced, trickier challenge. Taking 3 laps with all the cars to be joining in, and this is going to be pretty perfect to be as well possible. So looks like that's pretty good for our daily workout complete for today. So looks like the Biposto Abarth vehicle is definitely quite coming in by first place for the recommend tune-up settings by using the balance of performance. So looks like that's a pretty good clean race bonus for it. So looks like it's already marked checks, because this is going to be good for a checkmate. So, looks like that's a pretty good run for the final round on the Horse Deep Mile Reverse. But I hope I'm really gonna go and get a high expensive vehicle for only at least 20 million credits. But it always to be seen as the usual part. Well, looks like Volkswagen Beetle Group B is definitely achieved as a earned bonus. Well, looks like I should probably have to start working hard to get a high expensive cardboard, like having every day. But I know it's a total bummer that we should probably wanted a high expensive car as a gift vehicle for doing a lot of daily workout boards. So, Blue 7 Large Flakes is the final vehicle to be purchased this week, and I think this is going to be quite giving a little bit better time to do it. But I'm kind of thinking I'm still at 6 million range, but I'll make sure that this is going to be able to be stacked up to be upped in 20 million. Well, probably if I could probably have to go and stack up to be up to 50 million, that would be long way to exact goal to make it to collect some more credits much easier for it. So probably the Abarth 1500 Biposto Bertone B.A.T. 1 is definitely one of the most finest retro vehicles was introduced from Gran Turismo 6, but definitely the center amount was used to be as 3,500,000 credits, but now it also purchasable to buy with using a 1 million credit to be purchase available. So that might be a good standard amount of price, just like the prototype cars to be available for it. But this vehicle, this one is definitely part of the $1 million price range to be available to purchase with since the August update for it. That might be pretty good price range, but it also drives very slow. But it also to be recommended by giving a little fast performance with using the balance of performance recommend. So looks like that was definitely the best vehicle with this old style since the 1950s, made by Abarth. So folks, glad that you really enjoyed for this video. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to click like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. And don't forget the links on the description down below in case if you're interested to see more for it. That will be giving some more good stuff that you want to see for it. So, looks like that's one of the most classic vehicles from Gran Turismo 6, because this is going to be quite very good. So probably until the next custom race that I should probably have to start using the Volkswagen 1200 1966. So this might be one of the classic cars for it. So, well, this might be giving a little bit too determined choices for it. I'll make sure all depends to see which classic vehicle should I go with. That might be a very good choice for it by taking a little movie references that you guys have watched for it. Well, I guess I'll be able to use the Volkswagen for the next one for it. Okay folks, I'll be able to be continuing on for the next custom race on Gran Turismo Sport. And I'll see you guys next time. Keep on racing and stay cool. And have a good day.